Hello everyone and welcome to a day in my life here in Vietnam as an English teacher. I had a few requests from friends to make this video, so I'll take you through what a standard day is for me here. I start off with a really early wake up. I set about 15 alarms because I'm not a morning person and need to make sure that I actually wake up and go to work. Shower and order a taxi. Most of the local people here wake up between 4 and 5 a.m, so the roads are pretty hectic by 6:30. Luckily for me, the commute to work isn't too far. The taxi fare only comes to around $3. Here I am at the entrance of the school. It has all these really nicely painted murals on the walls surrounding the entrance. This is a public school for gifted students and they're grades 10, 11 and 12 and they're fantastic. They're really smart. So I try to arrive at the school around 6:55 a.m. The first class begins at 7:05. So here we are walking into the school cafeteria to pick up some breakfast. Me and Rylan, my co-worker from South Africa, don't actually get any food for breakfast though, just pick up a coffee can and a bottle of water usually, but there are plenty of options here. Here we are with the canteen lady who is quite lovely. She doesn't actually speak any English and I don't speak any Vietnamese, but usually we just point like this to some of the foods and drinks and that's okay to get by. Then need to head over to an office at work to pick up a laptop and a Wi-Fi router, and then it's time to do some actual work. Here we put down the Strong and Rich Cafe Viet and the bottle of water onto the table and then pull out this class book to fill in. Just write the contents of the lesson, who's turning up, how well behaved the students are, which they are always excellent for. In today's class it was quite a casual one as the students were preparing for their exams the following week, so we had a pretty relaxing class here. The students had the option of giving a recap of the 2023 year at the school, or if they wanted to they could perform in a class talent show, and that's what the majority of the students chose, and there's some fantastic singing and dancing here from everyone. They loved it, they had a lot of fun. Lots of talent on display. So at 8:45 a.m. the students go outside for some exercising and stretching activities, which is quite a big cultural difference compared to how schools operate in Australia. After the stretching, I went down into the courtyard and bought a bag of salad from the students. They grew it themselves at the vegetable patch on campus, which they can then sell to other members of the community as a fundraising activity, which I think is really cool. The next class of students are also in exam preparation mode, so we just ran another talent show, but this time I put up the big bag of salad as the prize for the winners of this show. The class ends and on the way out, a few of the students asked for photos in front of the school Christmas tree, and then it was time to head home. So time for some food and the first meal of the day. I went to this vendor on the street for a banh mi. I thought I was ordering some sort of meat in the banh mi, but it was actually fish. And that's a pretty common part of my day where I order food thinking it's one thing, but due to communication difficulties actually getting something completely different. Here I am heading back towards the hotel and across the bridge, and now I'm here about to have a midday nap, which is a big part of the culture here. The country more or less shuts down over the midday lunch period like a siesta in Spain. 3 p.m, having woken up, I then head out for another bite to eat, pick up a kebab from this cart which I've become a regular customer at, then head back over in the direction of my other workplace, which is the VUS English Language Centre. Before I go into work, I head into this fancy coffee shop, the Trung Nguyen Legend Cafe, and sit down for a coffee and cake before going off to work again. I teach a few hours there, and then it's time to pick up some dinner, which only costs a few dollars. Finish that, and then go for a walk again, and get some exercise, pick up a mango smoothie for just $1. I like to unwind before heading back to my room. So usually I sit there on the benches down by the river, relax, chat to some friends on the phone or sit there listening to music. I usually get back to my hotel just before midnight plan some lessons for the next day, and then do it all over again. Hope you found this interesting, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video for some more adventures from Vietnam. Please let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see next. Goodbye.